Welcome to my channel, Crochet and More with Vicky Jo. I'm glad you could join me today. I just wanted to jump on here and give you some updates of what's been going on. Um, so let's see, today is Saturday. So on Wednesday, I was scheduled to go in Thursday morning for a colonoscopy. And so Wednesday, I think it was like 6 in the evening, I had to prepare. You know how you have to do that nice prep for your colonoscopy? Well, I had to do that. And they gave me like this really big gallon jug that I had to drink. I had to drink, it looked like a gallon. I believe it was a gallon. And so I had to drink half of that starting at 6 o'clock. I had to drink half. So I did, and it was like a lemony taste. I just don't like these preps that they have you do. But anyhow, so I had to do that, and it took me an hour and a half, but I got that half down. And after that, I just wasn't feeling well. Was feeling a little nauseated, and I felt like that stuff wanted to come out already, and so I took off to the bathroom, but instead it came out the other end, and I started vomiting. But it was just like a gush, just like four different times, just gushing out like water, just like living water coming out of your mouth. But yeah, and it was blood, and from the very beginning, it was just blood that was coming out. And so that sort of freaked me out. I didn't know really what to think of that. But so I told my daughter, I think I might need to go to the emergency room, just to see, find out what's going on. So we went ahead and we called the emergency department, because I was trying to contact the place where I had made my appointment with, and to let them know what was going on and see what they suggest. But of course, the office was closed, so I couldn't get through to no one. So my daughter called the emergency room to see if we could talk to one of the GI specialists there. And I don't even think it was the emergency room. It was another number that I forgot where it was she called. But this doctor said, that he was there because it was at the hospital where I was supposed to go that next morning. He was at that hospital. So he said it didn't really sound good, that I needed to come into the emergency room and just let them know that, he wants to see me. So, okay, so we got ready, and I was a little nervous about making that trip. It was like 20 minutes to that hospital. We had to go out in Prescott. So I was a little nervous that prep I put in me was already going to activate, and what's going to happen then. So we got there anyhow. It was okay. I made it, got to the emergency room, and it started to hit me a little bit in the emergency room while we're waiting. And I kept telling my daughter, let them know that the doctor's waiting for us, that he called for us to tell us, come in, so they don't make me sit here and wait. And so finally the nurse came, got me, took me back, hooked me up to everything, checking vitals and all that stuff, and I'm just waiting for a doctor to come in. And while I'm sitting there waiting, my stomach was hurting, and I knew it was already, that stuff wanted to already come out, and I don't want to get real graphic, but they had a little toilet, like a portable toilet right there in the room, so I didn't have to go far. So, but yeah, it was yucky. But anyway, so different nurses were coming in, asking questions. I don't know how many times I had to explain what happened. And then the on-call ER doctor came in, went over some things with me, and I told him that I had, we had spoke to this GI doctor, which he wasn't even aware of. And he goes, well, let me talk with him and, see what he wants to do. So then he came back and let me know that this doctor wants to do a GI, not a GI, well, an upper GI endoscope, endoscopy, I think it's called. So he wanted to do that, and so they wanted to admit me. And they were going to do the endoscopy the next morning, so they wanted to admit me then. And I said, I didn't go prepared to be admitted. I didn't take no crochet. I had projects I could have taken with me and sat there to pass the time away, because I know those hospitals. And but I just didn't go prepared. I had other things on my mind, I guess, so I didn't go prepared to do anything. So we waited for a while, and finally they got me up to a room. Probably about midnight I got up into a room, and they planned on doing the endoscope thing. You know what I'm talking about, that thing they stick down your throat. They planned on doing that the next morning at 9 o'clock in the morning was the schedule. Well, I believe it was 9. I was scheduled for a colonoscopy at 9 o'clock on Friday morning or Thursday morning. And so I just thought, well, they would probably just do the scope instead of the colonoscopy. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So I'm there waiting, and we're just there, and I didn't hear from any more doctors. And then, so the next morning, I'm still waiting. And at this point on Wednesday, all I had to eat Wednesday was just a cup of Jello and water. That's all I had the whole day, and because I couldn't have anything, gosh, I think it was after midnight. All I could have was liquids that whole day, the day before. And then, so then on Thursday, when I was scheduled for the colonoscopy, well, at that point after midnight on Wednesday night, I couldn't have nothing. So I didn't have no water, nothing after midnight. And so here it was Thursday, and I still didn't have a time when I was going to go. Nobody really knew what the schedule was. And so we waited, and I was so thirsty, and they wouldn't give me anything to drink because they didn't know when the doctor would come for me. And so, yeah, we were just there waiting. Long story short, I ended up waiting till 7 o'clock that evening when they finally came and got me. And I guess they were having just a lot of emergencies, and they were just coming in left and right with issues. They said some patients coming in were, I guess, bleeding from both ends. And so, yeah, they were emergencies, and I believe there was only the one doctor that was taking care of all of these, and he spent the whole day down there seeing patient after patient. And and yeah, I was getting frustrated. My daughter was frustrated. We were tired. I was hungry. My daughter was hungry, and I kept telling her, go eat, go home, go take a shower, just go rest, come back later. But she just didn't want to leave my side. She wanted to stay with me. So we just stuck it out together, and the nurse kept apologizing, and I said, it's okay. I don't really feel I'm an emergency. They're emergencies. Let the doctor take care of those patients. That was what was important. Even though you don't want to wait, and you want to gripe and complain sometimes, you don't want to sit and wait. You're tired, and hospitals make you more tired. And then the bed I had was a terrible bed. It was hard as a rock, and it was just a lot of complaining going on. But anyhow, so they did. They came and got me at 7. And it was funny because we were going to the elevator. I asked the nurse, so how long does this procedure take? And she looked at me with sort of like a blank face, and then she chuckled, and she said, about 5 minutes. I said, oh. We waited all this time for a 5-minute procedure. See, our thinking was, I was scheduled for a colonoscopy, 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. Why couldn't they just, instead of doing the colonoscopy, just do the scope? Right? Simple solution. But no, the doctor went ahead and canceled the colonoscopy, so then I was out of that slot. So anyhow, I got in and I had it done, and the doctor was a very nice doctor. Um, and well, they all were. The nurses, we couldn't complain about any of them. I had a really great team there, nurses and doctors, and they were just really nice people. And so I had the procedure done, and then they took me back up to the room. And I didn't hear from the doctor after that. He did speak to my daughter, and he let my daughter know that I had some inflammation in my esophagus and that I had a few ulcers. And he said several ulcers. And so that was basically all we knew. And then they brought in a folder with the paperwork in it, and it showed in there all the findings. You know, he found I do have acid reflux, which I knew that. Another name they call it is GERD. And that's where all the acid comes up, you know, from your stomach. And I noticed lately I was having a lot of problems eating spicy foods, and I just got where I couldn't eat Mexican food anymore. And even though I love Mexican food, you know, and my husband, my whole family's Mexican, but I just couldn't handle the Mexican food no more. The salsas and stuff, anything spicy was just, you know, was really irritating to me. I just couldn't handle it. So I've been off of that for a while, not eating that stuff. But they found that, and then they found I did have, I'm not even going to try and pronounce these words on here, but basically what I have is in my esophagus, it's very, they said excessively red, inflamed, and I have several or a few ulcers in there or on there or wherever they're at, but in that inflammation area. And that I have mucosal changes classified as Barrett stage. I didn't really know what that was at the time, and dumb me, I went on and started Googling all these findings to see, well, what are they talking about here? Because some of these I knew, but some I haven't heard of, and that was one of them. And what that one is it has to do with cancer. I don't have cancer at this point, but it's pretty much inflamed, so they had to give me medications for that. He did find a small tear, Mallory Weiss, I think how you pronounce that, tear. But he said it was very small, just I forgot what he said. But it was just a very small tear, so there was no need. He didn't have to repair that. And like I said, I just, I have all the inflammation. Now, so he said what he thinks happened is that stuff I was drinking for the prep, that it just didn't agree with the inflammation that I have in my esophagus. It didn't agree with that, so it caused me to expel it, just bring it out. And because it came out in such a force and so many times that it caused that little rip, and that's what caused all the bleeding. Just that tiny little rip caused all kinds of bleeding coming out of my mouth. So that was his thought, what happened there, why that happened. But so anyhow, they had to put me on medications while I was there. I had to stay the night, of course. They wanted to keep me another night and keep the medicine in me and wait and see how I was doing the next day. Because they had done the procedure so late in the evening, they just wanted to keep me in there just to, monitor me and make sure I didn't start bleeding or anything. And so they kept me the night and sent me home with this medicine. And I have to take 2 different medicines. One is for the acids. It's supposed to help, I guess, take some of that stomach acid out. And the other is to try and heal up the inflammation with the ulcers. He says that this medicine you can heal ulcers, but it doesn't stop them from coming back. So he wants to try with this medicine to heal the ulcers and to get rid of this inflammation so it doesn't turn to cancer. So that's the plan right now. And then, like a dummy, I was looking because I don't have insurance to cover medications. I do have Medicare, but I didn't take the Medicare Part D plan because it's just their SSI. You know, we're living on SSI right now, so it was a little difficult to even add more. They charge you for that stuff. It's not free. They take it out of your payments. So I just declined that. I don't have that. And so now I just use that GoodRx, and which is a pretty good program. They help a lot of medications. But I was bringing up these medications that they showed on here because they had sent me over one that's called pantoprazole, something like that. It's Protonics. So they put me on Protonics, and that's the one for the acid. And then the other one was sulcrafate, and that's the one for the healing of the ulcers and the inflammation. So, so I brought them up, went on to RX, see what their GoodRx was, what their price was, and I didn't know the amount that he was going to prescribe me because it didn't tell me on my paperwork. So I just went with the smallest amount, and it was a liquid one, suspension, and it was like 140, I think, some dollars or something just for that bottle. And if they went to a higher, you're getting close to the 200 mark. I don't have that kind of money, and who knows if I'm going to have to take more than one prescription. I didn't know, so I was a little concerned about that. So when the discharge doctor came in, he went over everything with me, and yeah, he did confirm this Barrett's thing had to do with the cancer, and he told me, you know, as of right now, there's no cancer, but we do need to take care of this, you know, with this medicine. So I told him the problem with the medicine, so he went in on GoodRx, and he goes, "Oh, I see it for here like $20 some," and I said, "No." So he came and showed me, and I said, "But those are tablets, and he wants me to have suspension, the liquid." And he said, "Well, no." He goes, "All you got to do is get the tablets and just smash them, crush them up, put a little bit of water and drink them like that." So he was telling me to do that because he said pharmacies, you know, they like to try and raise up their prices, and that's the way they do it. He said, so it's perfectly fine for me to just go with the pill, crush it up, drink it like that. So finally, you know, long story short, I got out of the hospital. They discharged me, and I think it was about noon before I had to wait, noon, until the doctor came up in order to discharge me. And so finally I escaped. I got out. And so my daughter went and got the prescriptions, and these prescriptions, look at, I'll show you this. You can see this. These are the pills that I have to crush and drink. And I don't even know, I guess they're, you can see that. They are so difficult to crush. So I put it in a little bit. First I roll them out. I had to go and I ordered me a crusher on Amazon because I have to take these for 8 weeks. So I'm ordering me a crusher thing to hope that works better. But I put it in foil and I beat it all down, and I roll it out with my tortilla maker. I roll it all out, and I get it nice and powdery. It's like a pure powder. So I put it in a little bit of water, and it just doesn't want to mix. Any of you have any suggestions on how to mix this stuff, please let me know down below in comments. Because so far, I've taken my second pill. Well, I took one last night. This is my third one that I did just a few minutes ago. And still, this time I put it in a cup with a little bit of water, and I'm beating it, and I'm trying to squish it. It's just like it doesn't want to blend very well. Really nasty. So I'm just hoping that it's going to work. You know, I'm taking it like that, and I hope it's going to do the same trick. I don't think he wanted me to take the full pill because they're big, because one way that you can get tears in your esophagus is by swallowing big pills. And because I'm so tender there right now, my thinking, that's probably why he ordered the liquid for me instead, so it could go in and just soothe the area that's inflamed. So I hope by, crushing these pills, because I'm pretty sure the doctor that discharged me, I don't think he's a GI doctor. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think he's just a regular medical doctor. So I wasn't too sure, does he know? I don't know. But so I'm doing what he told me, so I hope it works. But anyways, I have that one, and then I have the other one that I take. And it became difficult because I have to figure out these pills. I have to take them 4 times a day, and he told me to take them breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bedtime. But you can't take any other pills within 2 hours of taking this pill. And it's like, I have a lot of other pills, for blood pressure, cholesterol, my heart. I take a pill for my heart, and then I have gabapentin that I take 2 of those at nighttime. So it's like, how am I going to work all this in? I was like, oh goodness, I had to sit and just think, how to figure it all out. But I think I got it. But anyways, so he wants to see me back in 8 weeks. And at that time, he's going to do the scope. He wants to repeat it and just see if I'm healing, what's going on. And then he's going to do the colonoscopy at the same time. I tell him I'm not going to drink that stuff. And he said, nah, he don't want to put me through that. He has some other stuff he'll order me. He's going to order it for me. And I'll make the appointment right with his office. So that's relieving, because I'm not going to drink that stuff no more. I think it's ridiculous. That stuff, it's like a gallon, and I'm not exaggerating. I wish I would have saved my bottle. I could have showed you, but it's a gallon. And you're drinking this stuff, and it's filling up in your belly, and it's just heavy. It's too much. And I don't know why they put people through that. I only did that the very first colonoscopy I had when I lived out in Colorado. I had to drink like one of those. And it made me sick then. I didn't throw up, but it did make me sick. It filled me up. It just was nasty. I was nauseated with it. But then I drank it with Gatorade, because they told me I could. And then so that's like a lot of sugar also. So yeah, it was yucky. I had the second one I had done was in Kaiser, and I had it out in Colorado. And they gave me just this small amount of stuff that I drank, and it worked perfect. So I don't know why across the board all the doctors do not recommend this stuff. Why do they make us drink? I'm just venting, sorry. I don't know why they do make us drink all this stuff. But anyhow, this doctor's not going to do that. So that's why I haven't put videos out. I mean, I thought about it when I was laying in the hospital bed, but I was just like tired, and I don't know, I just couldn't do it. And then, I don't know, I just didn't. But I thought I would jump on here today, let you know why, I wasn't able to put videos out for a while. But I am going to do another video. I got some yarn in from Joann's. It came in yesterday, so I'm going to, when I finish this video, I'm going to do another video, show you the yarn that I got. I have a stitch tutorial that's going to be coming up. I probably won't get that done today, but I will this week. Hopefully starting Monday, I'm going to be fresh and be able to, just start getting videos out to you again. So I hope you'll, continue watching me. Don't give up on me yet, I know some people, when you don't put out content, and you don't get your videos out, they just stop watching you. And I only have a few subscribers. I'm new to this, and I hope you all that see this today, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. In 8 weeks, I'll let you know what's going on. Once I go and have this done again, I'll have another one of these type of videos out, just to let you know, how it went, and hopefully, keep me in your prayers. And I do need prayer. I need prayer that, that this medicine they're giving me does resolve that issue and gets rid of the ulcers, and, and that it doesn't end up, with the big C word. I hate to even say that word, but I trust in God. I know that God has me, He has my back, He watches over me. He's taken me through worse than this, and I know He'll continue doing so. So, anyways, I just wanted to, like I said, jump on, share with what was going on, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Just be blessed in whatever you do today. It's a beautiful day here hot day here in Arizona, but it's going to be hot, I guess, for a while. But I hope you're having good weather where you're at, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. That's all I have right now. Just be blessed, and Jesus loves you, and I do too. And I will see you in another video. Bye for now.